Now, luckily we got to see Erin, Ryder on both Chasing UFOs and Destination Truth. Anybody get to see Chasing UFOs on Nat Geo? Yes. Looking for some aliens and some UFO life. Now, what are your thoughts about like Area 51? Because you went out there, so what do you think they're hiding out there?
I think at this point there's nothing there, because if I were them, I'd move it all. I mean, it's too well known. Security's tight at all those bases. I think it's just for some reason it's gotten the most mystery behind it. There's bases all over that have stories that go back to Project Blue Book, and they're just as well known, but they're not as sought after as 51. I think for a long time they hid a lot of stuff there, and I think now it's gone elsewhere to other locations that we don't know about yet that we'll eventually find. But it's not as big a mystery as you'd like. That's my feeling behind it.
Baby actually cried.
Give him his skates. He needs his skates back a little better.
I do. I think they've moved most of it. And there's still stuff going on. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Right.
Like, the airport itself is very reactive. I know many people who work out there. They're flown in daily from Las Vegas, McCarran. And there's a lot of people going on, but I think it's more kind of like routine, testing of stuff that's not... Area 51 was like where anything could happen. It's like the rumor mills, like they've already cloned humans and they're walking around, and everything goes on there because we really don't know. But I think it has moved to some other bases that we've kind of kept our eye on.
We need to find those bases. You guys need a new show, Find Where the Aliens Are. Now, Josh, a few months ago you shared something with all of us on Twitter about your personal life, that you had gotten engaged, and there was, well, let's talk about the elephant involved.
The elephant in the room.
Congratulations!
I got engaged to an elephant. I got engaged in April on elephant back in the jungles of Thailand. Yeah.
I'm hearing some sighs from some women though. They're not. They're not. It's like I'm not engaged, but I imagine like when you did that, people started like befriending you and stuff. And then the married ones started adding you.
Now, since we've thanks for the friend. Now, Josh, you're a well-traveled man, and so now that do you feel like you have this pressure because now you have to think of this awesome honeymoon location?
Right. So I did feel the pressure for the engagement. I felt like if I popped the question like at a Denny's or something in Rancho Cucamonga, I was going to be in trouble. So I went very exotic for the proposal, and we talked a lot about doing a destination wedding. That kind of seemed like it was in, and my fiance is a real travel nut as well, and so we talked about that. And in the end, we've decided not to do that. We're gonna get married next year on the East Coast, and but we have not started planning our honeymoon. I'm sure that it will be international. I don't know where. We've got a lot of airline miles to cash in, so
yeah.
maybe we'll lean into those.
I hope you'll share a little bit with us.
Yes.
When you do. You can get more
Share the miles or
more friend for you.
It brings that to the wedding.
And then he'll add more friend requests from married women. So anyway. Now, okay, hypothetical question here. So if you're going to run into Bigfoot, what would you do? Would you snag his baggage?
This is because of my tweet last night, wasn't it? Okay, guys. I went Bigfoot hunting in Arizona like 3 weeks ago, okay? And it was intense. This guy says that they've come down into his camp and he leaves cookies and things for them and Diet Coke. Okay, no, serious. Now, I believe this guy has had some really credible experiences, and I'm editing a little video of our trip. You can see it on my website, hopefully this week. And anyways, I was there in the tent, and we're hearing these noises. I've got a little earpiece in my, because he's in a trailer, right? I'm in a tent. And
I have a lot of questions about this trip.
I'm sitting there, and throughout the night, I get woken up because he radios me. He's like, something just bumped the trailer. And I'm like, awake, my heart's beating. I'm like, should I wake everyone else up? What should I do? And then, again, a shadow just moved by the window. I'm like, getting ready. So I didn't sleep like all night long. But the next day, we started making plans. Like, what if we really find him? And you know you've been doing this too long when it involves, we had this whole idea I had a taser. I didn't want to kill him because I had like a line of handguns to protect me if he got, too far in the tent. But we had the taser.
So you kill him.
I was gonna tase him. Then we were going to tie him off with rope in this guy's pickup truck, cover it up like in Harry and the Hendersons. Then drive into town, call the news, and we had a list of people we would call. So that when they come, the press will record it and they can't deny it. Take the body away. And we found a body up here in the woods. We don't know if it's human or not, whatever. Meet us at the Walmart parking lot. And then we pull off the tarp and there will be the creature just waking up and boom. And we scored, we found, we proved it.
So that's why none of us will go camping with Ben.
Right. I want to get my head around this trip for a second. You're in a tent with tasers, a bunch of handguns, and Diet Coke and cookies. And then you got some dude in an adjacent trailer. First of all, why are you guys in separate places?
He doesn't sleep in a tent anymore. He won't anymore. He slept in the trailer. He's got the big parabolic mic, and he's listening on the outside. And the cookies and the Diet Coke were out, and enchilada meat. We're
naturally, that's a given.
We're on the table. We're at the park table, and we got all these cameras, focused on it, motion detectors. So he'd be like, the motion detector went off. And so I unzipped the part of my tent, right up and put out my night vision thermal, and I'm looking around. I don't even know if I want to look out there. Yeah, you should come.
That's next today, right? You're announcing it today?
That's
Bring
right.
your taser day.
Bigfoot's running around. Don't tase me, bro. I just want a cookie.
Is the Diet Coke in the cans closed? It's not open. It's not
He's got video of some.
If you hold on, stop. If you tell me he's got video of Bigfoot opening a Diet Coke, I'm leaving.
Not opening it. We don't know. It could A, be a homeless man, or B, be a Cub Scout raiding his little area. Or it could be Bigfoot because it reaches into the cooler and grabs it and looks around and then takes some other stuff and walks off. Very grainy.
What if it's vegetarian?
Vegetarian? Well, the Diet Coke's not a good thing for him. It's got the aspartame in it. He can come back and try to sue us later for or for tasing him.
Because Josh, you came the closest with the Yeti. What did you think when you found that? And you were like, did you?
Well, I don't want to cast any aspersions on Ben. I don't know. I came closest. It sounds like Ben was close to something.
You didn't have Diet Coke. You had Diet Coke.
For us, because there are these mystery primate stories really in every culture in the world. Bigfoot is not a North American phenomenon or even a Western phenomenon. It's known by a lot of names in really almost every country in the world. And we've looked for a lot of them on Destination Truth. I think the experience that I had in the Himalayas was unique in that we were in an area where there were no other people around. We were not on a trail. We were just sort of bushwhacking around at these really high elevations. And to come across a run of tracks in an area where there's not someone ahead of you. There's no guy up there with a giant Bigfoot stamper, and there's no people up there. So that to me was really compelling in that, and it was extremely exciting for the Sherpas and the support people that were with us. And to me, it was one of those things where a lot of those, well, it could have been this or it could have been this, kind of started to fall away. So that made it really compelling for me. I mean, look, I don't know if it's a real creature. You know, I mean, of all the sort of iterations of Bigfoot, I'm a Yeti guy. I love the Himalayan version of the story, and I would love that story to be real. But you know, I don't know. Maybe it's a bear. Maybe maybe it's something else. But it is a really powerful story that has endured for a very long time, and you meet a lot of people in different parts of the world that are having these encounters. And so, to me, it's a compelling mystery. You know, I don't know what it is, but I think it's a very compelling story.
You have been likened to what Yukon Cornelius from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I've seen it online, so if you're looking for a cosplay,
Yeah.
you can bring a Yeti. Now, Ryder, did you hunt for the chupacabra? Have you,
No, I wasn't.
done that? You haven't. And then, what cryptic beast would you like to find?
Out of all of them, out of any of them, the unknowns?
Or just have like clear proof of its existence?
I think the hardest for me to really believe in is the North American Bigfoot. So that would be one that I would really like to find some evidence of, some really solid proof of. That's one for me that I would really, love to see and capture. I mean, it sounded like Ben was hot on the trail, so I'm gonna sit up with him, maybe grab a net gun. And...
You're on the list. You know, call. When we get to Walmart, it's gonna make it there really fast though, because I don't know how long you'll stay asleep.
The Walmart site might come really interesting that night.
Think of all the promos. We could get a Walmart commercial out of it. We could get Diet Coke. Little Debbie cookies.
Seriously, if you had them opening the can, dude, it would be
Oh, and everyone would be out the next weekend camping with the cookies and the Coke.
take a piece of the pie, man.
Now, Jason, you've gone and collected a lot of haunted items. Is there any place that you feel like deserves a return visit?
Oh man, Hawaii. No, let's see. Gosh, that's a hard one. I would say almost everywhere because, when we go into a place and we pull out an object, it doesn't necessarily solve the problem. In fact, I'd say usually it doesn't. It may alleviate the problem, and we may be completely wrong. So I think any of these places, there's still going to be activity, and pretty much every place I think deserves another visit.
How about Ben? Do you have a place that you think that you're like, oh, we went there and I think that I need more? Because I've investigated and there's some places I think they're calling me back. I'm a little frightened.
Yeah, it's usually I love going to Tombstone, Arizona. Really, really active, that whole town. I would love to go back to the USS North Carolina. Something was very angry at me there. And I don't mean to be disrespectful. Sometimes I forget what the names of these ghosts are, and I'm like, there was a soldier who fell down like 4 flights inside the hatches where they climb up the ladders, and he fell to his death. And I just walked over. I thought his name was Timmy. And I walked over. I said, "This is where little Timmy fell in the well." I went down. His name was Tommy, and one of these big serving trays that weigh like 5 to 10 pounds in the kitchen. The lids to the stainless steel things lifted up and slammed down right behind me. And then it destroyed a DSR camera just like this. Threw it 30 feet while we were filming just right behind us and dented the lens. So I love going to places like that. Do you remember me? I put all my equipment on the floor though, so it doesn't get chucked, because that stuff does happen.